But security stakeholders are urging legal gun owners to be responsible even if they feel the need to help. Early on Saturday morning, a security guard at the Golden Arches bar in Curep shot a knife-wielding man who tried to attack another patron. The man remained in critical condition up to Sunday morning. On Thursday night, 2 bandits were shot by a licensed gun owner when they tried to rob a gas station near the Maritime Roundabout in Barataria. The men were taken to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, where they remained warded under police guard up to Sunday. Contacted for comment, President of the Estate Police Association, Derek Richardson, said armed officers had a right to defend themselves and others, that FUL holders should not simply spring into action without being
assessing the entire that person then thing that he has.
He also said that armed
to be using your personal firearm to carry out a commission.
Told CNC3 News that while responsible gun owners can be helpful in defense, it was not their responsibility to fight crime or to go after criminals.
It is something that they need to be very cautious of, because it can actually get you into a lot of legal trouble should you misjudge a situation or so. That's why to learn the law properly and have adequate training is important.
Nahu said he agreed with Richardson that security guards should not use privately issued guns while on the job, as issues of liability may arise if their response is deemed excessive.
You do still have all the rights in law to defend yourself. You do have all the rights in law to protect persons and property as well. However, in the capacity as a private citizen, as just a citizen, not as a security person.
And as legislation relating to stand your ground policies are expected to take shape this year, it will shed further light on how citizens can defend themselves within reason to keep themselves and everyone else safe. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
Thanks, Shane. Now, as the Venezuelan government pays close attention to 2 shipments of firearms that allegedly entered their territory via Trinidad's waters, one criminologist strongly believes the guns were destined for Venezuela's Sucre state by Colombians working with locals to carry out their illegal operations. Shaliza Hassan Ali has the details.
Trinidad and Tobago has always been a transshipment point for illegal firearms from South and North America. Criminologist Darius Figuera believes 2 shipments of guns allegedly smuggled from Trinidad and destined to Venezuela's Sucre state by Colombian and local criminals were meant to destabilize communities. However, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander, when asked by CNC3 News if nationals were supplying guns to Venezuela, said he was unaware but shared this perspective.
You should know this too. You're wrong a long time. People do their own thing. They leave this country and we can't even find them for years. And next year they get caught up in the mix.
The seizures are now engaging the attention of Venezuelan Justice Minister Diosdado Cabello and our government. At the center of the gun controversy is a TNT national who the Venezuelan authorities claim has been working with Colombian paramilitaries. Figuera said Colombians are not to be taken lightly.
They try their endeavor best to render the spaces in which they operate ungovernable, and they then take over these spaces.
He said Colombian paramilitaries insist on a political vision for their illegal operations.
Even if it means turning that country into chaos.
However, this can present a clear and present danger for our country.
That as long as they are present in Trinidad and Tobago and they are involved in this geopolitical activity, they are a grave threat to our stability.
Regional security expert Garvin Hero told CNC3 News it's a matter that raises concerns not only from a bilateral diplomatic perspective, but also in the wider context of regional security and transnational organized crime. He said information sharing with CARICOM impacts Interpol and the Drug Enforcement Agency should be enhanced immediately. Hira says there should be a wake-up call to close the external gaps in human trafficking, arms and the drug trade across our borders. On Friday, Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers confirmed that a letter was dispatched to the Venezuelan authorities, but the identity of the TNT national is yet to be confirmed. In the meantime, he said the Venezuelan government is treating the matter with
urgent priority.
Sobers also denied there is tension between the two countries. Shaliza Asnali, CNC3 News.
The government and opposition on Friday both voted to confirm the selection of Alistair Guevara as the new Commissioner of Police. He therefore succeeds Ula Herwood Christopher, whose term ended under contentious circumstances. Today, we took to the streets to ask members of the public, what advice do you have for the incoming police commissioner?
The People Say, brought to you by Excel Health TT, the official supplement of the CPI.
Make sure as much youth, so the new generations are as involved in activities as possible, whether it be academic-wise, trade-wise, or just hobbies, to keep their minds in the right frame of mind and away from the streets.
He can put more in place for safety regulations in terms of the taxi drivers, right? So like the TT ride shares and those things, because it have a lot of fake drivers that would come to pick up young ladies or even men.
Well, we'd like to see a better registry in terms of sex offenders. Yes, we know it have one, but we would like to make it more public, because a lot of women online, we'd like to have it online because a lot of women, they're fearful.
Make the process of pepper spray faster due to women having to travel in the middle of the night and stuff like that. And also with the posting of guns and illegal substances and stuff like that.
All the high-rate crime areas that you could put a mobile station where the officers and maybe the army and them could do more patrols, where it will cut down the crime rate in all those areas.
Because the Coast Guard have not been able to protect our borders, and we have Venezuelan poachers and smugglers coming by day and night, we strongly advise that they reactivate the Riverine Unit, take a very strong arm towards errant police officers who are corrupt, and have zero tolerance for any criminal activity.
The People Say, brought to you by Excel Health TT, the official supplement of the CPI.
The Chronic Disease Assistance Program, which offers more than 87,000 citizens free medication, will be reviewed by the government. As part of the review, the procurement of pharmaceutical drugs will also be examined. The review comes as the Pharmacy Board continues to express concern about industry practices and drug distribution prices. Joshua Semangal reports.
Between February 2015 and February 2025, the cost of pharmaceutical drugs increased more than that of food in Trinidad and Tobago, according to central bank data. And the new government is taking drug price concerns seriously, so says Health Minister Lakram Bodo.
So actually, as we speak, the Ministry of Health I've asked a team to look at the CDAP program in the first instance, to review that with a view to updating and expanding that program. But also, it is the intention to review the national formulary. And of course, all procurement processes in terms of how drugs are procured and so on will be looked at.
In recent years, the Pharmacy Board and other associations raised concerns about industry practices. They called for the industry to be regulated to control prices and prevent a lack of competitiveness.
Many of the pharmacy associations have reached out to us. The Substantive Pharmacy Association, as well as subgroups within that association, their presidents and their chairmen. We are trying to arrange meetings.
Freedom of Information requested documents state that between 2015 and 2024, 16 companies received $4.4 billion in CDAP contracts. One company, Smith Robertson and Company, received 42% of the contracts, $1.8 billion. The second largest contract to Bryden PI Limited was worth 17%, or $742 million. A 2025 Private Pharmacy Retail Business Association survey of 100 pharmacies alleged that Smith Robertson controls more than 85% of the distribution of major brand name pharmaceutical drug lines. Agassini owns Smith & Robertson Company. Between 2017 and 2024, Agassini's profits in the pharmaceutical and healthcare industries rose by 125%, from $65.6 million to $147.7 million. When approached by CNC3 News, Agassini declined to respond. The Fair Trade Commission told CNC3 News it is aware of public discourse concerning allegations of monopolistic practices within the pharma industry. It says, however, it is not investigating the matter. But in December 2024, the FTC said it would investigate concerns about competition and prices in the pharma industry. No update has since been provided. CDAP offers free medication for diabetes, mental health conditions, asthma, cardiac diseases, and high blood pressure. As of May 31, 2024, CDAP suppliers were owed more than $352 million. Joshua Simongal, CNC3 News.
Well, if you haven't already, pick up today's Sunday Guardian newspaper or go online to read more from Joshua Simongal's special pharmaceutical investigation. It's time now for a break. Don't go anywhere.
With the cold and flu lurking around every corner, keeping your immune system strong allows you to live the life that you want every day. Discover BioStrath Immune Health. BioStrath Immune Health is a unique plasmalized yeast product that enhances the absorption of essential micronutrients, ensuring that your body stays resilient. And now enriched with zinc, it is your go-to support for immunity. Staying vibrant and healthy just became a whole lot easier. BioStrath Immune Health. Get what you need naturally.
Did you know that if you shave, 1/3 of what you remove is skin? New Dove helps repair it. So if you shave it, Dove it. New Dove. Replenish your skin after every shave.
Inside every cell is a metabolic engine, AMPK. Berberine Plus helps ignite that engine, turning sugar into energy and fat into fuel. Whether you're managing sugar or trimming fat, Berberine Plus supports your goals naturally. Berberine Plus, now available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Welcome back. With floodwaters finally receding in several parts of central Trinidad, local authorities have turned their focus to cleanup efforts, damage assessments, and long-term infrastructural concerns. Speaking to CNC3 News during a site visit along the Caroni Riverbank near Sheldon Trace, Councillor Richard Rampersad of St. Augustine South, Piarco, St. Helena, says the last few days have been extremely hectic as communities struggled to recover from the severe floods. Rampersad stressed the lack of infrastructural investments, which had worsened the situation, and he praised the flood mitigation project started a month ago by the new administration.
When we took office, we have embarked on a massive flood mitigation exercise, and I feel, and I want to allude, the fact that the damages weren't so bad this time around is because of the proactive nature of this new government in addressing the flooding woes. So the effect isn't as severe as in previous years.
Today, as their crews entered communities, our crews rather, along Madras Road, many were still cleaning up, some having to discard furniture and other items destroyed by the floodwaters.
We are pushing all the water here, we get flood out here. So let's come to help out my partner here. Well, walk all in the rooms, all over, you can see water.
Flood victims are being asked to contact their local government representatives to get an assessment of the damage to their property. Some of the mathematics we learned in school is playing a key part in the development of flood mitigation app development. Dr. Letitia Addison teaches statistics at the University of the West Indies. She's also part of the team that developed the AI for SIDS app that won the 2024 COP29 Global AI Innovation Challenge. As this country grapples with the first major flood of the rainy season, Dr. Addison says they are using the data they have access to develop early flood warning systems so that people might be able to save their things or themselves.
I think within probably an hour would be great. Half an hour probably would be something, as the system ramps up and gets more information to train on, it may be able to give you even faster monitoring, but we have to start with what we're working with currently.
Dr. Addison says she and her team are currently working on the proof of concept for their app, and this involves using a range of available data, including rainfall measurements, temperature, satellite imagery. But she says they need better, more accurate data to develop the best model possible.
In some cases, what we're doing is we're simulating some of the other data sources that we're waiting to receive from some of the other agencies. For instance, the river level data, and even in some cases, the social media data. But we are working with what we are seeing online as well, and then trying to understand how it can work all together so that once we speak to stakeholders, we can say this is what's possible. So if we have access to more data, we can make a model that works very robust and can give great insights.
Dr. Addison says math and statistics in particular are about identifying patterns. Now they are using data to have access to turn uncertainty into informed action. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles is calling for healing and unity within the People's National Movement as she prepares the party for internal elections this coming weekend and for its future in opposition.
And as painful as it is important for us to realize that as we build the party, we have to unite and we have to be one as a PNM.
She also cautioned those within the party wanting to hold office that they cannot continue to operate in the way they had done before.
I want to just caution those who are so excited or appear to be excited or interested in office in the party that they don't understand that we cannot move forward if they continue to operate in the way they're operating.
She was speaking on Saturday at a public meeting in San Fernando under the slogan One PNM. Beckles is running unopposed for the post of political leader in the party's internal election on June 22nd. Still to come in sport, TNT Soca Warriors opened their Gold Cup campaign today against the United States. We've got the latest.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Southern Food Basket flash sale on and now. Goat stew, £4 for $90. Tyson leg quarters, $285 per case. Russet potatoes, £5 for $19.95. Great value fries, £5, 2 for $59.95. Golden brand margarine, 227 grams, 5 for $19.95. Richport vegetable oil, 500 ml, 3 for $19.95. Anchor cheddar and a vegetarian cheese, 250 grams, 2 for $44.95. Chubby 3 cases for $100. Cold, 2 liters, 3 for $19.95. Bright wash laundry detergent, 900 grams, 2 for $19.95. Clorox 1 gallon, $26.95. Available at Southern Food Basket, St. Charles Village, Princestown, SS Erin Road, Pinal, Southern Main Road, Point Fortin, Coffee Street, San Fernando. Available Thursday, 12th June to Sunday, 15th June, 2025.
Science calls it AMPK, your body's built-in system for burning fat, balancing blood sugar, and fueling energy. Berberine Plus naturally supports AMPK, helping you feel better, live better, be better. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus, powerful results naturally.
Welcome back. West Indies delivered a brutal display of power hitting today, posting a mammoth total of 256 for 5, their second highest total in T20 internationals, as they defeated Ireland to claim the T20 series. Rajiv Surat Singh has more.
After being sent in to bat, West Indies openers Lewis and Hope exploded out of the blocks after a cautious start, piling on 70 runs in the power play. Left-arm spinner Matthew Humphreys was the only bowler to apply some control, conceding just 7 runs from his 2 overs in that phase. A stark contrast to the rest of the Irish attack, which was dismantled by a barrage of 6s and 4s. Lewis and Hope both brought up their 50s with towering 6s, setting a foundation for 122 for the first wicket. Ireland found a brief opening when Barry McCarthy removed Hope in the 11th over, triggering a short collapse that saw the visitors lose 3 wickets for 30 runs in just 11 balls. However, West Indies refused to ease up. Carty stepped in with a composed yet destructive knock. Supported by quick-fire cameos from Shimron Hepmeyer, Jason Holder and Romario Shepherd, of the 256 runs scored, a staggering 200 came in boundaries. Ireland's bowling figures reflected the West Indian dominance. Debutant Liam McCarthy endured a tough introduction to international cricket, conceding 81 runs, the most ever by a T20I debutant. Ireland began their chase with promise. Paul Stirling cracked the first 3 balls for boundaries, and a 101-run second wicket partnership between Ross Adair and Tector gave the hosts hope, but the required run rate kept climbing. Once Tector fell in the 11th over, Ireland's innings unraveled. They lost 3 wickets for just 2 runs, and any momentum quickly dissipated. Akil Hussain, who had been hit early on, made a strong comeback to finish with 3 for 27 from his 4 overs, effectively shutting down Ireland's middle-order challenge. In the end, it was a commanding all-round performance from the West Indies, built on explosive batting, moments of sharp bowling, and the kind of swagger that has long defined Caribbean cricket at its best. Rajiv Surat Singh, CNC3 Sport.
To football now, the TNT Soca Warriors are currently locked in battle with CONCACAF giants USA in Gold Cup action. The Warriors fell behind early when Malik Tillman found the back of the net in the 16th minute after sloppy defending by the Warriors. The Americans doubled their lead just before halftime. Tillman on target again after a catastrophic back pass from defender Alvin Jones. The nightmare of the first half did not end there as the Warriors conceded yet again before halftime. Patrick Ejmang is steering home after a mazy run from winger Diego Luna. And we can tell you that scores currently remain the same, 3-0 to the U.S. The inaugural FIFA Club World Cup kicked off last night with a goalless draw between Al Ahly and Inter Miami. Action continued today as Bayern Munich began their campaign in historic fashion with a ruthless 10-0 demolition of New Zealand's Auckland City. Jamal Musiala marked his return from injury with a brilliant second-half hat-trick in a commanding team display. The following encounter saw a clash of European giants as Champions League winners Paris Saint-Germain beat Sweden's Armand Duplantis delivered yet another historic performance at the Diamond League event in Stockholm today, setting a new pole vault world record of 6.28 meters. The mark improved on his previous world record set in February by 1 centimeter and further cemented his status as the leading figure in the sport. He cleared each of his 4 jumps up to 6 meters on the first attempt, showing complete control throughout the competition. When the bar was raised to 6.28 meters, Duplantis responded with a successful vault that added another world record to his name, his 12th overall. All right, let's take another quick break. Stay where you are.
New Charles chocolate with 0 sugar added. Charles guilt-free chocolate goodness.
In some regional news, Jamaica's capacity for accurate and timely forensic examinations has been bolstered with the opening of the new state-of-the-art forensic pathology autopsy suite on Thursday. The $680 million facility located in downtown Kingston will streamline post-mortem services, ending years of reliance on private funeral homes, which had resulted in delays. Its establishment marks the completion of the development of the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine, which aims to strengthen the forensic capability of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and reduce the backlog of criminal and other cases. Doctors in India say 270 bodies have been recovered from the site of Thursday's plane crash in Ahmedabad. The London-bound aircraft crashed into a residential area shortly after takeoff, killing all but one of the 242 passengers and crew members, a 40-year-old British man. Officials have also been trying to establish how many people were killed on the ground and have been continuing the slow process of matching DNA samples to confirm the victims' identities. Vigils honoring the dead have taken place across India and the UK. About 100 people gathered outside the High Commission of India in London on Sunday, with many laying candles in memory of those who died in the crash. On that note, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us and staying with us for the 7 p.m. news here on CNC3. I'm Doris Polo. As always, on behalf of the rest of the team, have a great night and a wonderful week ahead.
You're watching CNC3.
International Conference on Small Island Developing States took place in Antigua and Barbuda. With it came a renewed call for attention to be placed on the plight of SIDS. In this crucial decade in the fight against climate change, where do small island developing states go from here? My guest this week has spent the last few decades fighting and advocating on behalf of SIDS, and Dr. James Fletcher says over the last decade, inaction from the international community has paved the way for the problems many small island developing states face today. Dr. James Fletcher, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the back of the 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States that took place in Antigua and Barbuda this past week. Have you been happy with the way SIDS approached this particular conference, this critical conference?
I think SIDS have done everything that they can do. There were all the preparatory meetings. They brought, tried to get views from as broad a group of stakeholders as possible. They had meetings in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to take the views of the Caribbean grouping. They had meetings in the Pacific. They had in the Ames region. So I think SIDS have done what they can do. And I think very often, we put the onus on SIDS, but really SIDS needs support, and I think that is the message that hopefully has resonated across those last few days in Antigua, and that is the message